Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception.
And that last one, that hurts. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. These two teams, Titans and Dolphins, met last year, Week 5. That was Jay Cutler versus Matt Castle, and it was the Dolphins getting a fourth-quarter touchdown from Jarvis Landry, and they held on to win 16-10 in South Florida. Here's Smith. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And an Allen run. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. David Johnson taking it in from the 20. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, a nice spin. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Titans. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there
because
raining.
Warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, looking for.
And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. David Johnson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins. 77 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. Another shot from the one on second and goal. Now it's Watson. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Deshaun Watson taking it in from a yard out. And the Dolphins have got it back to a one-score game. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking... They begin the drive to Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Smith. Incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, here's Smith. And that is incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Look at the spin. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
His throw incomplete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Cameron Wake in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into him?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A very solid gain of 27.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To throw is Watson, dancing to his left. He won't go down. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Cole Beasley, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith in the offense heading out for their next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Smith now to throw. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's taken down inside the 30. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Smith now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's going to take a shot for the end. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Traquan Smith with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Titans are going to take the lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on, and as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
On first down, Watson. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. We often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Smith underneath for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. A shotgun snap for Smith. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the second time. So we've reached halftime here on opening. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Smith. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Here's Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. Touchdown, Titans. Jordan Reed, 45 yards. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Titans, and he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. A big play there, taking it in. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second down, here's Watson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw. Watson. The ball comes out, and that might be Titan football. It is.
All these these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
He's going to go. This is caught at the 20. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Smith, his pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
4 yards, that gets them close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They go play action here on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker?
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Titans. And maybe that one caught. By the weather, of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
throw to Johnson again. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
A first throw here for the backup Taylor. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And this one caught by Beasley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Steps away to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quitting him.
0.
Now he'll escape to his right. Now he's flushed out right. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time, and now it's 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. Now this is Complete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On second down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a third and about 13. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo.
So what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could tell me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tips. So see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog to the skull. Ignorant nigga, kiss the death, friend, protect your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, he already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 9 to 6. You a shook one, reason on the ledge. I'm your. What's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no neon this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork.
Bring out the Brinks truck, I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash, I had to run my price up. Boss your life up, I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, you know these checking for me in the DMs, getting for me. I ain't even took the dollar out my pocket and the still shaking for me. And I'm frosted like Tony in the club with the owner. I can walk on water, pop it like, hey, when you on top, go hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, go hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. 30, I might go round and 2 stacking up. I love how my money counter move. With attitude, I got a attitude and I dropped out of school. I'm going up, check my vertical. Man, I'm breaking every rule. TMZ harassing me, I got a camera crew. I'm addicted to shopping, so everything brand new. I'm friends with the jeweler, my diamonds like Shamu. Hey, she like she applying shampoo. Pretty face, she got a look. Keep a few racks on me. I used to work in the factory. Been hating it, never bother me. I make they follow me. Teacher said that I'm a prodigy. When I'm shopping, I don't care what it's costing me. 10 bands, really, that ain't a lot to me. Turn on my swag to infinity. I leveled up on these. Yeah, I leveled up. I bezeled up on these. Yeah, I bezeled up. I ain't got time for no negative energy. I'm on a winning streak. I'm on a spree. The devil be doing the most, but he don't ever get to me. Bring out the Brinks truck. I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash. I had to run my price up. Boss your life up. I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, when you on top, go hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, go hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Let's get up to the Jets' home opener in their 50th anniversary season of winning Super Bowl III. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
This is T.J. Logan to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The starters on the defensive side of the ball for Miami, they've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typically what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
That's to his running back, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Watson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The numbers in last week's game for Hooper. 4 catches, 53 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up. And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. It's caught by Hooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the... They know there are going to be extra guys coming. It's down. And he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
Come up the lowest yards per carry average of his career is Lamar Miller at 3.7, and that's not normal for him because of his versatility. Can catch it out of the backfield, but his best attribute, high-volume ball carrier. Runs it inside with power, physicality, and some really good vision in order to break some big runs.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Trey Hendrickson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Off of play action, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Well, this one is no good. Fairbairn hangs it out to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hole.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The numbers for Jones last week, 16 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Play action now. Cousins. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stumped.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. And they're on the move as they face a 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Going deep here for Stills. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. but you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Watson off play action. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Reset. Richmond.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Richmond. Target.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to go deep for B. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Gibson. And he turns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And it's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
They'll run it with Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hunter Henry brings it in. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Offside, defense.
And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Lux with the extra point. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Slow.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Escaping the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone.
Yeah, man, it's caught inside the 10. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
His pass caught at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Taylor will throw again. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Pierre Garçon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Cousins now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To the air again. It's Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Oh, it is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Spinning away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Taylor will throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, it's Taylor. He sets to fire deep, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. He's going to look deep now for Landry. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start with a little East versus West in the AFC. And it's the LA Chargers heading east to take on Buffalo. And it is the Chargers who have the lead in the second quarter. Sam Darnold with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Quincy Enunwa, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Panthers trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's Taylor. Flush to his Taylor hit. He lost the football, and the Jets have recovered. So the coach putting the blitz on, and remember that coach. Former defender in this league. He loves this.
Yeah, they love to see it happen because I think they just have that flashback about when they were playing, right? That's what we were taught. That's what we did. And they've used that same impact with their own teams and do the same type of teaching.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Second down, Cousins. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And now look at him go. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 92 yards. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Jets. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Cousins, it's caught, Stills, right side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A gain of 32 that time.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to play.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Eluding the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there's Tyrod Taylor doing what he does best. Look, he's taken a few lumps along the way, and some people haven't believed in him. But this is where he excels, outside of the pocket, making plays.
As prolific with his legs as any quarterback in the league?
I would say yes to that.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. On second down, here's Taylor. He'll buy some time right. Wide open receiver, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They go play action here on first down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This an easy one, 23-yarder. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. 3
points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On second down, Cousins again. And that's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Shrugs him off. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there, 94 yards, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude, that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
To throw is Cousins. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A good pickup there at 22. Time for a break. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Again, it's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They'll throw again. Cousins. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 3rd and goal for Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Taylor going to throw it. Flushed out right. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I want my running back hit.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. There defensively was Buster Screen to knock it away. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but
oh, no, he lost the football. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Miami, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, hey. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Lil' watch out like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the crit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah, no it ain't, they ain't talking cash, so I did the race. NASCAR with the pace, feed you water on the chain. Get no love where I ain't from. When I'm on the beat, I make it thumb. I need that bread like every crumb. Came up from nothing, made a sum. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Ay, 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 ay.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked a towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, I ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. Wakanda swagger, I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get more invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday.